Hello and welcome to the Power of Integrity podcast, where leadership aligns with principles. Today, I'm delighted to have Doug Frederick, the founder and CEO of HealthCues here in Orange County. Doug, welcome and thank you for coming on the show.
Pleasure. Glad to be here with you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Will you tell our audience a little bit about your journey professionally and personally it's led up to today, including where you're at and what you're doing in your current life?
Yeah, no, for sure. Grew up in small town Iowa. Went to the University of Iowa, so I'm a Hawkeye. So always rooting for them. Traveled around a lot. First, out of college, got into insurance, working with Mass Mutual, and then quickly moved to day trading. And I ran a broker dealer. Day traded for about 14 years. Got into buying notes from banks and hedge funds. So we buy 3 to 300 properties at a time. And then I ran into the current program I'm doing, which is HealthCues. I ran into this about 7 years ago when these programs first started coming out. One of my friends showed me this program, and I was like, if this is real, this is what I'm going to do. It wasn't quite real yet. It took us about 18 months to put the program together. And, now I'm currently CEO. I founded HealthCues about 4.5, almost 5 years ago. And it's all about preventative healthcare. We're trying to get the program works for anyone, but what we're trying to do is get preventative healthcare out to the people that normally wouldn't have access to it. And we spend $4 trillion a year as a country on healthcare, and 72% of that's preventable. So even if we can only get 1 to 5% of that, people be more thinking about their health. That's really what our goal is. And we have about 30,000 employees we offer our program to, and love the business, love helping people, trying to get them healthier, thinking more about how they can live a happier, healthier life.
Yeah, and if you were kind of, you have permission to kind of give a deeper dive. So a constituent, a consumer of HealthCues, what goes on for them and how does this program work?
Yeah, so it's a supplemental program. We're not trying to replace major medical. This just sits on top whatever benefits you are offering, or if you're not offering any. And what it does for the employee, it provides them with preventative health care, all the different telemedicine, teletherapy. Believe it or not, virtual vet is probably the one I get the most questions about now. People love it. I actually had one employer that said, I want to move just because of virtual vet. You have it over your competitor. So it's interesting how much people care about animals. But really, at the end of the day, the employees get preventive health care for the whole household, DNA screening, biometric screening, all the virtual services. And by them participating, which is very simple for them to participate, a monthly newsletter, digital health coaching, they're going to, on average, get about a $70 a month pay increase. They get preventative healthcare services for the whole household. They're going to get hospitalization. If they go in the hospital, it kind of helps out with deductible coinsurance. If they spend a night in the hospital, use ER ambulance, it gives them extra money to help pay for possible time off. And from an employer's aspect, what's really good is it helps them with, loyalty to their employees. It's not just like, hey, we care about you today, we care about you long term. We want you to be preventative about your health care. And the employer also saves about $700 per employee in payroll taxes. So it's one of the few programs everyone is really rowing the boat in the right direction, or the same direction, I guess is a better way, because the employee has a financial gain from this, getting benefits. The employer has a financial gain, wants the employees to be healthy. And if the employees don't participate, we don't get anything out of it. So we all kind of have the same interest moving forward. And, we do really well. We work with a lot of the McDonald's, Carl's Jr., staffing, PEO, assisted living groups in the U.S., trying to provide those benefits to people that normally wouldn't have access to it.
Interesting, very interesting. Yeah, the alignment, which kind of leads us to integrity, because without
Yep,
integrity, alignment really doesn't exist so well, does it? So when you think,
exactly.
yeah, Doug, when you think about integrity, what does that word mean to you?
Uh, Trust, keeping promises. And I think probably the one we've heard a lot is doing the right thing when no one's watching. That's what I feel integrity is, because you can always make a decision when there's lots of people watching you, but it's probably more important to make when no one's watching what decisions are you making and being honest, sincere. I think that's really what integrity means to me, and transparency. I think if just for what I do, I'm really transparent about when I talk to an employer. They will ask me questions like, they'll come up with questions, and I'm like, those are great questions. These are the questions you should be asking though on the program, because what I don't want is to get 3 weeks down the road, they're asking these questions, and it may work, may not work. So I just think you just got to be respectful of others, treat others how you want to be treated yourself.
Yes, yeah, that golden rule came up in my last show, to treat others the way you want to be treated for sure. Can you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah, can you think of an example, a moment where the principle of integrity played a key role in your professional journey and the application of that principle?
Well, yes, it really did. When I was in the trading business, even the trading business, even the note business, really at the end, it was getting the margins were getting really small, and I saw a lot of our competitors doing things I wasn't willing to do to make money or to make things work that way, and I had to make a decision. Do I want to stay in this business, or do I want to move on to another business and not having your integrity called into account every single day? Not that you have integrity every day, but it's like every day I felt like, holy cow, here it is again. I'm in this situation of financially, do I do this? Do I not do it? And that's what's really propelled me into this, where I feel this is a business where I really am helping people. I'm helping people open their eyes to preventative healthcare. Um, and so I think it really is, you get to a point where if your integrity on a daily basis keeps getting not questioned, but I don't know if threatened is a good word or not, but when you have to go through that every single day of questioning, like, should I do this or do that? It's time to move on and do something else that isn't going to call your integrity into account every single day.
Yeah, yeah, that can be really challenging when those around you are not acting with integrity, which is one of the questions we'll get to in a little bit. But when you're leading your team, and how do you believe integrity plays a role in terms of employee performance and productivity?
Well, I think it's a huge thing because you have to set the bar high for your company. You have to live up to that as well. And if they see your integrity isn't where it needs to be, not that they're going to follow you, they may not continue working with you. And we have a great group of people with our company. They've been with us a long time, and our integrity is one of the top things everyone likes about our company. Um, when I get on a call, I have some of my salespeople are like, you're not really selling. And I go, well, I'm not here to sell. I'm here. Here's an opportunity. Here's here's what this can do for you as an organization. Here's what it can do for your employee. And I go, I shouldn't have to sell it. I'm presenting this to them. And I think that's a big difference between why people keep coming back to us. They may go look at our competitors, and we end up 8 out of 10 times the employer comes back to us and is like, we really like how you were upfront about everything. You told us this is what's going to take time. This is what's going to be a headache for us. And I have employers coming back a year later saying, you were 100% right. Everything you said was right. Can we come work with you now? So we're everyone in my company knows we're going to do the right thing. It doesn't matter if a different way is cheaper, financially a better thing for us. They know we're going to do it the right way because when you do things the right way, you never have to remember what you told someone, and you're always what the answer is. You don't have to think back like, well, what did I tell them? Well, you told them the truth. You told them how it works. That's what you did.
Yeah, the truth does go with us, doesn't
It does. It's I tell my kids all the time, the truth's undefeated.
it? Yeah, re-remembering the truth's not so simple, but yes, the truth is undefeated. Absolutely. What?
Well, I think, even when your kids are younger and they'll kind of, well, I'm like, no, there's no well. What happened? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. And they joke around because they say it all the time to me. They're like, the truth's undefeated, right? I go, yeah, it is.
They learned a great principle there in that household.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So you bled a little bit into this narrative around the notion about how integrity creates customer and client loyalty and fellowship. Would you kind of expand upon that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. It's if your customer knows that you're of high integrity, your company's of high integrity. It teaches them how they should be treating you as well, and that's a big thing. We try to let people know this is the kind of company we are. This is how we do things. We follow a process, and if the process can't be followed, maybe this isn't a fit for us and you to work together. And I just think that is really important because our clients know that if they ask us a question, I was on a call today and a lady asked me a question. I said, well, let me talk to my attorney first and get back to you. She's like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I go, you want the right answer. Our attorney is going to for sure have the right answer. And that's what people know when they talk to us, work with us, that we're going to get the right answer for them. We're not going to tell them what they want to hear. Sometimes that's a little frustrating. I think, what do they say? Like, people would rather hear what they want to hear than hear the truth. And when you tell the truth, you're sometimes the bad person. So sometimes we may look as a bad person, but our clients know we're going to tell them the truth. They know we're going to get back to them and answer any questions. And it makes the clients know they need to work with us with integrity as well. So you kind of got to set the stage, I believe, for them. If you can't be transparent, 6 months into the relationship, maybe they're not going to be transparent.
Yeah, the reciprocity rule there of doing it in a manner in which you want it also to be reflected back to the other party. Absolutely. Your
Right.
your how does your personal definition of integrity influence your leadership style?
Well, look, like I said, it's really for me. You take responsibility for your actions. Anyone can talk and say something, but it's really, what are your actions? And I've learned that from many people, that you can talk all day long, but what are the end results? Just like I said, doing the right thing even when no one's watching is a big thing, because um, I could sit here and tell you I'm going to do everything all day long, but if I don't actually produce those actions and I don't follow through on it, everyone else in your company sees that. Your customers see that, and it brings bad juju to the whole climate. Whether it's your employees, whether it's your customers, because if you've done that to them, they know that they're going to point this 6 months down the road. Well, remember when you did this? So integrity is, we just have to be honest, sincere with people. And one of the biggest things is you got to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear.
Yes, as tough as that may be to hear or to say. That's so true. Yeah.
Yes.
What you must have had along your professional path a time where the other party, the counterparty, lacked integrity. Can you give an example without breaching any confidences of what happened and how that went off the rails and all the things that then transpired thereafter?
Yeah, I have a great example of that. I was working. I started a company 7, 8 years ago, and I put all the money up, and it kind of got to the point where I needed to bring someone else in. So I brought a money person in, for better words, and I owned about 40% of the company. And every time I turned around, it was like, hey, we need to give this some of this company. You're at 37 now. It just kind of kept going down, down. And I just got to the point with that their goal wasn't about customer, getting more customers. It's like, how much more money can we make from the business we have now? How can we lower the benefits? How could we uh, keep the same amount of people and make more money? And we're all about giving benefits out. And I got to the point where it's like, this isn't worth it. This isn't worth my time. And I went to my two partners at the time said, look, here's the deal. I'm leaving. It's a super successful business. I'll leave you alone. I'm not going to touch any of your clients. I'm going to go start my own company. And I did that 4.5 years ago. And it was a breath of fresh air because I could start my own company. We run it with integrity. I don't have to go to clients and say, well, sorry, we're cutting your benefits for no real reason. And even my kids and a few of my friends are like, you're so much more enjoyable to be around than you've been the last 6 months. And it's just a direct reflection. And I've told myself I don't want to work with uh, I don't want to even work with a client that has that type of mentality in life. And you can tell at the beginning, and they probably don't want to work with me either. So that's fine. But we want to work with people that are on the same page as us. And, for our program, it's less than 1% of the business in the US has penetration with this. So we have a lot of competitors. We don't run into each other that much. But that for me was a breath of fresh air. I didn't realize um, my doctor at the time basically said, if you continue down this road, he goes, I can promise you're going to have a heart attack or a stroke within 6 months. And so for me, that was just, why put yourself in that situation? And I got myself out, started HealthCues, and much healthier, enjoy life a lot more, and life is much more enjoyable.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing the correlation between when we have the web of integrity around us, how much more at ease and at peace we are. The truth is undefeated if we are truthful to ourselves and in alignment with ourselves and integral or integral with things around us, where we have a much better life, for sure.
I agree.
Yeah, yeah. So one of the things, we have some listeners that are younger or earlier in their careers, and I'm wondering what you might share as insights and tips and experiences where you've learned what to do, even what not to do, kind of cautionary to some of these young folks starting out, either launching their own businesses or they're starting their professions. What insights would you share with that group?
The number one insight I would share, I feel, is try to get mentorship from someone. Find someone that's doing where you want to be in life, that has the same goals, same values, and you're going to learn a lot quicker. You can learn from their mistakes instead of all your mistakes, and you're going to get to where you want to go a lot quicker. And you may even find out, like, this isn't the path I want to be on after spending some time with them. And not that that person's bad, or they're going to tell you this is what you're going to have to do if you want to get to this point. Maybe you're not willing to do that. Maybe that's not what you want to do. But I think it saves you a lot of time, a lot of effort in life. So I think mentorship is just so big, and that's one of the things. There's no easy way to get to where you want to go. So thinking like you can continually take shortcuts would be another one. It's a process. I have younger kids, and they're like, I want to be a millionaire. I'm like, you're 22. I go, do you know that the average millionaire in the US, I think, is not a millionaire until 62? I go, so don't think you're going to be a millionaire overnight. Put the time in, put the effort in, put the education in, and work on yourself every day. And you're going to end up being really successful. But like I said, mentorship, I think, is really big. Don't take the shortcuts. Put the time in, read, educate yourself, and every day try to build yourself up to the person you want to be. You don't need to chase things. You need to find out, like, if I want to be that person, I want to be the CEO, CFO, what do I need to do? And build yourself up to that, and you will be there.
Sound advice, pearls of wisdom. One of the things, I'm going to pivot a little bit here. I don't always inquire of all our guests, but one of the things that we have been trying to inspire with our guests and with our own community at Integrity and our firm is for folks to talk more openly about their bucket list and the things that they want to get done before they depart this earth. Is there one or two things you'd be willing to share about your personal bucket list? If you haven't formed one, you're forming one out loud now. Would you share with our audience what things kind of excite you that are on your bucket list?
Yeah, interesting you asked because I've always wanted to go to the Arnold Classic. It's the once a year Arnold Schwarzenegger puts it on in Columbus, Ohio. And this year, my son out of nowhere is like, "Hey, would you like to go there?" Because my son's young, he's 22, he's into, oh, geez, I can't imagine how many times he's putting something on Instagram or something on a daily basis. And he goes, "I'd really like to go to this." And that's kind of one of my bucket items. So
Hmm.
we are actually going next weekend to go see the Arnold Classic.
Oh,
Um, so that's going to be a great time. Um, you know,
is that a rotating venue, or is that in one place every year?
it's always in Columbus. It's
Okay.
usually around the last week of February every year, and it's the bodybuilding competitions. But there's a lot of other stuff. My son loves working out and um, loves sports, so it's going to be a good event. I love that. And look, one of my bucket lists that I've always wanted to do is in the next 5-6 years put together a podcast. I want to give back to, I believe, high school. A lot of people do this health coaching, mentorship in their 20s. And I really think it should start in high school. And so my goal is to try to go to the high schools, even colleges. I was working briefly with the University of Iowa and University of Michigan before moving out to California. But to go to these places and say, you can be whatever you want to be. Don't listen to anyone else. Could be maybe you're not going to be Michael Jordan because you don't have the 47-inch vertical leap, but there are many things you can be, and let them know anything's possible. So that's really my bucket list, is to create the podcast, which can help fund going to the colleges, going to the high schools, and letting people know you need to get a mentorship. You need to follow people. These are the things you need to do. Because I think the earlier you can learn that, I'd love to do it in middle school. The earlier you do that and you get in people's heads, the better it is. And I just think wait until your 20s is a little too late. So that's my real bucket list. That's my next goal. What I plan on doing, and hopefully it's not 5 years, but we'll see.
Oh, fantastic. Well, we've been having a delightful conversation with Doug Frederick, the founder and CEO of HealthCues. Doug, as we come to a close with this show today, how do our viewers, if any of those folks want to get in touch with you or HealthCues, what's the best way for them to do that?
Yeah, so our website is healthcues.com, healthcues.com. My personal email is d.frederick, Frederick, at healthcues.com. And you can also reach me, my cell phone, 312-286-1894. And I'm based in California, even though I still have my Chicago number.
Yeah, well, very gracious of you to offer right down to your cell phone and email.
Yep.
Appreciate that, Doug. It's been a real delight having you on the show today. I'm really grateful, and I know our audience is going to pick up a lot of insight from what you shared today. I know I won't forget that the truth is undefeated. That's for sure. Doug Frederick, great conversation with you. Thank you for being on the Power of Integrity podcast.
I appreciate it. Thanks for the time.
Of course.
The information presented in this program is provided for informational purposes only. The information is believed to be reliable, but no guarantee of accuracy is made or implied. Expressions of opinions are as of this date and are subject to change without notice. The information in this material is not intended as tax or legal advice. Please consult a legal or tax professional for specific information regarding your individual situation. This information does not constitute a solicitation or an offer to buy or sell any security. Investing involves risks, including possible loss of capital. Ralph Adamo is registered with the securities and are offered through Kovac Securities Inc., member FINRA, SIPC, 6451 North Federal Highway, Suite 1201, Fort Lauderdale, Florida, 33308. Telephone number 954-782-4771. Investment advisory services are offered through Kovac Advisors Inc. Integrity Wealth Management is not affiliated with Kovac Securities Inc. or Kovac Advisors Inc.